ordering. Yep, guys, it's exactly what I said. I said last week that chapter 21 could be combined with 22. And it sure enough could have. Like, I see all the criticism right now with this Ureks side story, and it's not good. Community does not seem to be happy with the pacing. Even some of the characterization is just kind of dull. You know, it's a little bit alarming because CU did say, you know, towards the end of season 3 that he was taking all the criticism and all the art mistakes and everything that happened throughout the season 3 that caused problems for readers, said that he would be making changes, or would be considering them at least. It's still more of the same. Like, this side story feels exactly like parts of season 3 that were really dry. I haven't watched Naya's video yet. He has a video out that's asking, is it boring? I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it a little bit later. I'm of that same sentiment that a lot of these chapters in the side story could have been one chapter that he could have just put together. I almost would rather him at least wait another week and, like, you know, give us no chapter and just combine the two chapters. It's better than getting chapters like last week when literally all the princess did was run around in a circle during a fight, and this week where we barely got any Urek. We got no Urek. It's all side character stuff, which I don't hate these characters, and it could be us as an audience. We have to readjust what we think a side story is. Maybe this is CU's way of doing a side story, because I thought that we would be hitting main points in Urek's side story. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. At this pace, this thing is going to be a little bit over 100 chapters. I thought we were aiming for at least 50 or maybe even 60, up until the point where we would walk into season 4. You know, I know a lot of issues that people have is some of these characters don't seem like they're gonna last. We may not ever see them. It would be also weird to me to see a lot of these people in season 4 if they just suddenly become prevalent then. Like, it could be relevant to Bomb's story, especially if we get more involved with Urek. I'm not really super excited for it. Like, I don't think these characters warrant so much attention that it needs to be relevant in the main story, if that makes sense, right? Like, we don't need the focus on them. And this crown game doesn't feel like a crown game because we know the circumstances, so it doesn't feel like, you know, everybody's really competing for it. It's more so the stuff that's going on with Rahab and the crystals and Phantominium and all this, and there's a mystery and all that, and that's cool. We can guess and, you know, make theories on what we think is going to happen every week, but it comes to a point where when we're reading the stuff on screen and we're seeing this side character, this side character, this side character, and literally none of the main character, people are going to complain. So that's my little start to the chapter review. This chapter is more like a 5 out of 10 for me. It's decent, it's cool. I like Cheongyum's abilities. That was pretty cool. And the queen's, like, she's entertaining, but again, I don't know if I care this much to know, you know? The chapter starts with the Queen, Evelyn, and Lu chasing after the aesthetic with the same shirt as Lu on. And then they're running into Cheongyum, who wants Mr. Lu, but he's gonna, you know, attack the Queen, and we get a fight between Cheongyum and the Queen. He used the same Shinsu blast he took out the dog with. Queen ends up eating it, and that was, like, pretty impressive. I will say that was one of the more entertaining parts, her ability to fight back. So she absorbed this Shinsu with no problem. And we see the test examiners who are watching from the lighthouse and, like, yo, what's going on? Who's that guy? And this is a problem, right? Because there's an unknown ranker level person in the area, but Rahab blocks it out. I don't necessarily have a problem with this, but he should have been more proactive, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, he's been watching the events unfold. Why didn't he just get Cheongyum out immediately before he could become a threat to the entire testing area? Like, you wait until he literally comes in front of other regulars and he's on screen. But I digress. That's being a little bit too nitpicky, I will admit. But the fight continues with Cheongyum going more Shinsu blast, and Queen ends up dropping the crown. And I do love the moment between her and Evelyn where Evelyn thinks she's being saved, but the Queen's actually trying to get the crown. I do like that stuff, but attacking Cheongyum and then stepping on him, stomping him out, love that. That's like, it was like such a quick movement, like something that big being able to move that fast and attack. Pretty well done. I see why she's a threat, right? But then Cheongyum gets the idea to attack her foot, knock off her footing, and he ends up, you know, messing up her foot, damaging in the toes, and she seems like she's gonna fall. Turns out that the dolphins are actually a part of her. They're all one being, and she just spreads them out, I guess maybe to search for food, to feed the ultimate, you know, bigger being. I like the concept of that. And again, bodying Cheongyam with no problem, where he's starting to struggle and he's starting to panic. Cheongyam decides to get rid of all the dolphins. She absorbs them all into this giant flowery needle and slams it on him and has this man think about death. Like, absolutely love that she lived up to her hype. I do like the queen's abilities. I think she's like a decent fighter. I like her. How big she is and everything, it's gonna be like really weird to deal with, especially if Evelyn ends up keeping her. I don't think how she, I don't know how that's gonna work. Maybe she can shrink herself or something. But I do like the queen as like a little side creature, right? Now the end is meh, like with Rahab ultimately taking the queen out with one shot. That kind of puts Rahab a little bit at the top of the food chain right now, because he did one shot the queen. So maybe Cheongyam is a little bit lower than Rahab, or lower than Rahab overall. It could have just been a cheap shot, but that's pretty much the chapter. Now the important thing that I know everybody wants to talk about is Cheongyam talking about how he died before. So maybe Neo is a previous angel? I don't know. Because obviously Neo, we know he had a previous life. He's already kind of mentioned that. And now Cheongyam's talking about when he died before. So my thought process is starting to go along the lines that maybe these people who are rankers or ranker level, maybe they have died or they had to be reborn by Phantominium to become angels, right? Like maybe he had to kill them, maybe place his power within them, and they were ultimately reborn. That could be it. The way that Cheongyam says it, it sounds like he went through a lot of pain when he died before. So it could be the pain of him dying from Phantominium, for my theory, but it also could have been maybe he was revived. Maybe he, was dead before and was resurrected or something along those lines. People go back to Shinsu, right, when they die. You see where it gets a little muddy and where I'm getting at? So, So I don't know how that, relates to him and Neo and the angels as a whole, but you guys, I know you're gonna theory craft a little bit with that, so feel free to do that. But other than that, that's my chapter review, guys. I don't know if I really want to do a stream this week. Y'all let me know in the comment section if you want me to do a stream. I'll do it if you guys want it, but other than that, that's it. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace.